Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I share these What's for Dinner videos every Sunday to hopefully motivate you to cook more for your family and give you some new meal ideas. We did try a couple new things this week, all of which were very good. I don't think we had any bad ones this week. So as always, any recipes will be listed down below in the description box. Let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night we had Meatball Subs. This is basically like a staple in our house, but it's honestly been a little while since I made it, since I stopped shopping at Sam's Club. Just trying to save us some money, and the meatballs at Sam's Club are our favorite. These ones were the Kroger brand Italian style meatballs, and they weren't too bad. I think they would have been better if I would have taken the time to air fry them first, but I didn't feel like taking the time to do that. So I just got this in the crock pot with a jar of Prego marinara sauce and then a little bit of water to get everything out of there. You can also add in some extra seasoning if you want. Put a lid on this, and I cooked it on high for like 3 hours. It honestly doesn't take very long at all. And then I've got some sub rolls here, and I am adding the meatballs to that, and then I'm going to top it with some mozzarella cheese, and then put this in the air fryer for about 5 minutes on 400. Just watch it, make sure you don't burn it. I almost forgot about ours and burnt them, but they turned out great. The cheese was nice and melty and gooey, and these were just really good like they usually are. Quick and easy, and served it with just some chips on the side. Typically we do salad, but this was a Friday night. We were tired and just did not feel like getting all the salad ingredients out. Saturday night we tried a new recipe. This is for a Parmesan crusted chicken and potato sheet pan meal. So I'm starting off here with my potatoes in my bowl. These are some baby potatoes that I quartered, and then I'm adding in some olive oil, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and a bunch of grated Parmesan cheese. And then I'm going to toss that around and get it nice and coated. And then I'm going to put those on a sheet pan, a lined sheet pan, and get these in the oven on 425. The potatoes are going to end up cooking for like 35 to 45 minutes. I got those in there first, and then you could add the chicken to the same pan, but I like to keep my potatoes kind of spread out so they get nice and crispy. So I added my chicken to a different pan, but I'm going to go ahead and season up that chicken in the same bowl that I used for potatoes, and I'm going to do the same seasonings on there with the addition of some breadcrumbs. So we're adding olive oil, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and breadcrumbs, and lots of Parmesan cheese. Get that all coated really well, and then again, this is going on another sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Makes cleanup a lot easier. And I made sure that like any of this coating that stuck to the bowl and didn't stick to the chicken, I kind of like dumped out on top of my chicken. And then this went in there for about 25 minutes until your chicken is done. It's really going to depend on the thickness of your chicken breast. I was using some thin sliced chicken breast, and so for me it was about 25 minutes, but I used my thermometer to check the internal temp just to make sure that it was fully cooked. And this reminded me very much of like a do-it-yourself shake and bake, like a Parmesan shake and bake. And it was very good. Nice and crispy crust on the chicken, and the potatoes were crispy and Parmesan flavored, and it was very good. I will definitely make this again. Definitely recommend it. To go with it, we just had some canned green beans on the side. Sunday night we had burgers. I had bought these burgers on markdown at Kroger, $4.68 for a 2-pound box of burgers. So I thought, what the heck, I'll give them a try. I don't usually like frozen burgers like this very much, but it was too cheap to pass up. So I just took the burgers and seasoned them on both sides with some salt and pepper and cooked them for about 5 minutes per side on my griddle. got a good sear on there, and then just continued to cook them until they were cooked to our liking, and then served them up on some buns with cheese, lettuce, tomato, ketchup, whatever you want. And then we had some corn on the cob that I made in the air fryer and some baked beans, and these were not bad. I would definitely buy them again for the reduced price. Probably wouldn't pay full price, but they were not bad for the $4.68 that I paid. Monday night turned out to be a eat whatever you want kind of night. I forgot to thaw out meat, and we were just like, well, instead of ordering food and spending money, let's just eat whatever we can find because we've got stuff here. So Lily ended up making some tuna mac and cheese for her and Elijah, and then they had some applesauce and cucumbers with that. And then I had like what was left in a box of fish sticks and what was left of some fries. And I, for the life of me, cannot remember what Andy had this night. I think he also had something random from the freezer, but I cannot remember what it was. Tuesday night, I made ribs, and I plan to make these the way that I always make them, which is like slow in the oven, takes a couple hours. But we started playing Pokemon Go again, and we were gone like all day playing Pokemon Go. So I was like, well, I already thawed them out. How can I cook them? Surely there's like a faster way to cook them. So I found a method to make them in the Instant Pot, and then you just broil them in the oven. So I have gone ahead, dried off my ribs, removed the membrane from the back. It was a little bit tricky, and then I'm just seasoning it up. I use some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and then the Kinder's steak seasoning blend. You could use a dry rub, brown sugar, whatever you want, but that is what I chose to use. And then in my Instant Pot, I have placed my trivet along with 1 cup of water, and then I did some Knorr beef bouillon powder, or you could use beef broth. And then I got my ribs on top of that trivet, and then got the lid on here, and then I did manual high pressure for 25 minutes. The recipes that I saw, most of them did like 30 minutes, but they were cooking 2 racks of ribs. Since I was only doing 1, I cut the time down a little bit, and I think it turned out perfect. So then after the 25-minute cook time, you just want to let it do a natural release, which took about another 25 minutes. And then I went in, took them out, put them on a foil lined pan, and brushed them all over with some barbecue sauce. This is the Kansas City style one from Aldi. It's our favorite. And then I put them in the oven under the broiler for, I think it took close to 10 minutes to get it how I wanted it, but you just want to keep an eye on it and make sure that you don't burn it. To go with this, we just had some cheddar, broccoli, pasta, Knorr sides, and that was it. It kept it really, really simple. And these ribs turned out delicious. I do think they are better cooked the longer way in the oven, but this was great in a pinch. Next up, we had some chicken and cheese dip and refried beans and rice. This goes by many different names at Mexican restaurants, but we basically just call it chicken and cheese dip at our house. So I cooked up some chicken with some adobo seasoning, and then cooked up a box of rice-a-roni Mexican rice, and then a jar of refried beans, heated up some cheese dip, and served it with like the cheese dip all over everything, and then a little bit of salsa on top of mine and Lily's. And this is always a hit with my family. And the last meal of the week, we had some honey garlic chicken thighs in the crock pot. So to the crock pot, I added 1/3 cup of honey, 1/2 cup of low sodium soy sauce, 1/2 cup of ketchup, some oregano, parsley, and then a bunch of minced garlic. I gave that a good whisk, got it all mixed together, and then I added in some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and then put a lid on this and let it cook on low for like 6 hours, and that's it. Super simple. When it's done, you can go in, you can shred it up like I did, or you can take it out and like kind of slice it up. But I just shredded up and then served it over some white rice, topped with some sesame seeds for those of us that like sesame seeds. I can't remember if I have made this specific recipe or not before. I've made similar ones. This one is just like really simple and basic, doesn't have a lot of ingredients, but it's still pretty good. And that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down below by leaving me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a smiley face emoji in the comments to let me know you made it here all the way to the end. If you plan on trying any of these recipes, let me know which ones in the comments down below. I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend and a great upcoming week, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!